So we are doing one example of nested if else. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see how we can do different levels of if else. Okay. So I've taken a number num1 and checking if that number is even or odd. So num1 modulo 2, if it is equal to 0, that means number is even, isn't it? And else number is odd. If the number is even, then I want to see if it is divisible by 3, 5 or 7 or not. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'll do, if number modulo equal to 0, then I'll say even number is divisible by 3, right? And I'll add one more condition, 5. If num1 modulo 5 equal to 0, print okay. By 5. Okay, then again I will go if okay, and then I'll write something like else print the number is not divisible by 3 or 5 or 7. Okay. Okay. Now, if number is divisible by 3, then check if it is divisible by 6 or 12. Okay. So inside this again, I'm going and checking here. If num1 modulo 6 equal to 0. Okay, print number is divisible by 6 also. Okay, so let's run this and see what we get. 50 is even for sure, and it is even, and then it is divisible by 5, isn't it?
5.
Let's say I put 36. Okay, so when you do 36, 3 and 6. So it is even, divisible by 3, and inside 3 also it is divisible by 6. Right?
Okay.
Right? So this is just to show you how we can go nested form. Okay, one inside another. So let's say if I give so let's say if I give 25. Okay, so 25 is odd. I'll stop there because this condition becomes false. So then none of these will be executed, isn't it? It will directly go here. So that's why divisible of 5 is not executed, because this will the divisible of 5 condition is executed only when number is even, not for odd, right? So when for odd it will go directly here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yes. So with that we will stop our if else discussion, and I hope you have done the assignment. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we will move to loops. Okay. Let's understand what loops are. Okay. So what is loop? Executing set of instructions, right? Or lines of code. Set of instructions we call it, or lines of code more than once, right? So if I have to perform something more than once, instead of writing the code more than once, okay, for example, I have to say print hello 10 times. Okay, so instead of saying print hello, okay, print hello 3, 4, 5, let's say we'll do 5 times. So instead of doing print, one option is you do print 5 times, right? But this is not
Okay.
efficient way. Let's say if I put 1,000 times, then you have to count, okay, 1,000 times, and I might have more than one lines of code. So you'll have to repeat it that many number of times, right? So instead of doing that, what we do is we write it once, okay, and then we will put it in loop. Okay, we'll
Okay,
put it
sir.
in loop, and the loop will execute it that number of times. So I say loop 10, for example. It will loop 10 times. Okay, so loop is to execute a set of instructions or lines of code multiple times. Okay, so in
Okay, sir.
Python we have two types of loops. Okay, we have
Two types of.
two types of loops. Okay, we have for loop and while loop. Okay, so
Okay.
we'll see the examples of both. Generally, the difference is in for loop, you should know how many times the loop needs to be executed. Okay, so if you want to
Okay.
execute something 10 times, you know that you need to execute 10 times. In that case, for loop is a preferred way. You execute the loop using for loop. Okay, but let's
Okay.
say you don't know how many times you need to repeat, but it's, you repeat based on the condition, some condition. Okay, so based on some condition, you are trying to execute the loop. Okay, so I'll give you an example here. Let's say you want to go to university. Okay, certain university.
Okay.
So you ask someone, you don't know the way, you ask someone, I need to go to the university. How do I go? Right? What is the
Yeah.
route? How much distance is it from here? Right? You ask this question. So the other person can respond in two possible ways. One way he will say, you keep going in this direction for 1 kilometer, you will see the university on the left hand side, right? So you keep going 1 kilometer and you will see on the left side. So here he gave you exact distance, 1 kilometer. So if you're on bike, okay, blindly what you'll do is you look at the speedometer and you will go at a faster rate, and after 1 kilometer ends, you will see on the left side if university is there or not. In such situation, when you know how many kilometers you have to walk, right? How many times you have to run the loop, we use for loop. Second way you can answer is you keep walking in this distance, in this direction. Okay, you keep walking in this direction till you see a red big building. The condition here is you keep walking, but the condition is till you keep walking till you see a red building. If the red building has come, you stop walking. So this is while loop, where you said execute it, repeat it till something happens. But
Okay.
something happens is the condition. Okay, and it depends upon the conditional statement that we have used. It's a condition. So it means when condition is raised, you stop there. When condition is reached, you stop. Okay, you don't perform further the repetition of the loop. Okay, that's
Okay,
what
sir.
we call it as loop. You are executing a set of lines, set of instructions, set of code, and you keep doing till you see, okay, some conditions, till you meet a condition. That's the example of which
For
loop?
while.
While loop, right? That's the example of while loop. So you stop when you are done. Second condition is, okay, that you keep, you keep repeating 10 times, 50 times, 100 times, one time also, right? That's an example of for loop. Okay,
Okay.
so I will give you an example of both, okay, while and for loop to see how they are different. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, okay. Uh, okay, let me do it. Okay. So I'm going to repeat hello 10 times. Okay. So say we'll do for loop. Okay. To use for loop, you type for. Okay. For condition. Okay. So for condition. Right. So you say for, and here I will say how many times you have to run the loop. Okay. And then you put a quotation here, and I want to print hello 10 times, right? So I'll put print hello inside the loop. Okay. So for some logic, okay, and uh, colon and the print statement. Okay. Now let's try to fix this. What do we do? So we have to create a situation, okay, which will count 10 times. Okay, we'll see different types of for loop also when we get into string and this thing. But let's do one the most common one. Okay, so we'll say for counter in range 10.
10.
Okay, so
Okay.
I told you that operators that we have in operator also. Now it's time to talk about in operator. So this is also it is also an operator. What it does is it takes the value from left side and assigns the value from on the right side. Okay, so here if you see, for is different. Again, here this is different compared to other programming languages, Java, C, C++. The whole for syntax is one single syntax. But in Python, it is not one single syntax. Okay, it has multiple components, multiple part to it. First part is for to indicate that it's a for loop. Second part is counter. So counter is a variable. I'm creating a variable which I will count. Okay, which I'll count from 1 to 10, so that I know. Okay, you have reached 10 times, right? So when you say go 1 kilometer, you will see the speedometer, right? You will see the readings in the speedometer, right? And then you keep seeing, and the moment it becomes 1, you stop, isn't it? So this is a variable which will do that job for me. Okay, in an operator. So counter will get the value from the right side thing, okay, and for will make it take 1 by 1, not at the same time. 1 by 1, the value will be added to counter. Okay. So when you say range 10 means the range function will create value from 0 to 10. Okay. Now, in Python, counting starts from 0. Okay. So here in the range is a function, just like print and input. Range is a function. It generates a series of value. So it takes some inputs. Okay. First type of range is where you give only the ending value. Okay, 10. That is the end value that you want to end at 10. So in this case, what it does is by default, it starts from 0. Python default value, starting value is 0. Okay, so counting starts from 0. So if I don't give the starting value, if I give only the ending value, it will start from 0. Okay, and go up to 10, not 10, because if you go from 0 to 10 becomes 11, isn't it? So
Yes, sir.
always ending value is up to. Okay, ending value is up to. So up to 10, that means 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you got 10 values. So here you have starting value which is default. Increment is also default, which is 1. You increase value by 1 by 1, 0, 1, 2, so on up to ending value. Okay. So range will accept at least one value. Okay. Okay. In one value, that if you're giving one value, it is your ending value. Okay. It indicates where the counting should stop. Counting should stop at 10. So it will stop just before 10, which is 9. Okay. So this is one way to generate range of values. So range is only generating range of values 0 to 9. In is making sure that counter takes the value from range function, and for will make sure that in one iteration only one value is taken. So here counter becomes 0 and it executes hello. Then counter becomes 1 and executes hello. Counter becomes 2, executes hello. Right? So here I can say print. Okay, I'll say counter value. Right? And I give counter. And let's run this and see. So see, counter value started with 0 here, 0, hello, 1, hello, 2, hello. Okay, 9. Counter value is 9. It goes up. It goes up. The now becomes 10. So 10 is end of execution. It will not execute. That's why when counter becomes value becomes 9, you do not see hello. See, counter value 9 is here, isn't it? After
Yes, sir.
here, when it goes up, it becomes 10. So it will be thrown out of the loop.
Okay.
Right? The same way you will see that first hello is printed, then counter 0 is printed. Hello, then counter 0. Hello, counter 1. Hello, counter 2. So on.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So
Okay.
this is how you will perform, for loop using range when range has only one value. Okay. Let's say I don't want to start from 1. I want to start from 3. Okay. So of course we can do that. What I'll do, I'll say print for loop 2, something like that I'll say. Then I come here. Okay. For loop 2, I'll say 3, 10. So I give 3. So that is the initial value. So if you are giving one value to range, it is the ending value. If you are giving two values, then it is the starting value and the ending value. Starting value is always on the left. Okay. So it will start from 3 to 0. Okay. So how many times will it print?
It prints as 6 times.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not 10, sorry, 9. So 9 is how many values? 7 times.
Yes, yes.
Right? 0,
Yes,
sorry,
sir.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, no 10, 9. So, okay, so when I run it, so you see this for loop 2 here, right? So see, starting value is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right?
Yes.
So if range takes one value, it is the ending value. If range takes two value, it is the starting and the ending value. If range takes 3 values, 3, 10, let's say 2. One value, ending value. 2 values, starting and end. 2 indicate the step. By default, the increment is by 1, right? 3 to 10 means 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now
Yes,
it becomes 2. So value will be 3. Next will be
5.
5, then 7, then 9, then
Then stop.
11. 11 is more than, greater than or equal to this thing. So 11 will not be executed. It will stop at 9. So how many times loop will run?
4 times.
3, 5, 7, 9. 4 times. Exactly. So we run it. Okay, let's do it 3 times. Then tell me. Now how many times loop will run?
So 3 times.
3 times. 3, 6, and 9. If I make
Yes,
it
sir.
4.
2 times. 1 time, sir.
No, 2 times, right?
2 times. 2 times.
When the value is 3 and the value is 7. Right? So let's
Yes, sir.
run this and see. So, okay. So when value is 3 and value is 7. So 2 times the loop is done.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how for loop works. Okay. So in for loop, we know how many times we need to execute.
Okay.
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 Now we'll take one more example before we end for the end. End the session for the day. We'll talk about while loop. Okay, and tomorrow we'll not tomorrow. Next session we will talk about some examples there. Okay, so I told you in while loop we don't know how many times the user will execute, right? So I need to print
Yes.
hello till user says yes. Okay, so what I'll do, I will say continue equal to true. Okay, and now I'll say while continue equal to true. Okay, print hello. And now I ask a question. Continue. Okay, so instead of true, okay, let's do that. Continue equal to, okay, continue equal to pool of input. Enter enter your choice, something like that also. Or do you want to continue? Okay, this is what. Do you want to continue? True or okay. So what happens? You run it, you get hello, right? I can put it.
Yes.
What I'll do is I will print this part here. So that we know, while is getting executed, isn't it? Okay. So while hello, okay. Do you want to continue? I'll say true. So, see again, it went up hello. Do you want to continue? True. True. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll say 0. Oops.
Sir, if I press any key,
Sorry.
then if run it, मैं कोई भी सर मैंने मतलब इनपुट देगा तो ये एक बार घूमेगा.
So what is happening is the input value is what? String.
Yes.
Okay. So string. Okay. So what does false mean basically from the logical perspective? False mean value is not
No
there.
value.
No value. So even though I'm giving wrong, true, I'm giving false, I'm giving 0, still when you convert string to boolean, it is getting converted to present or no present, value or no value. So getting converted to true because you're giving some value 0, -1, false, true spelling wrong. Whatever you enter, it is taking as true. Moment I gave blank, nothing I gave. Okay, now it stopped. Okay, it became false and it stopped. Okay, so okay, this is while example. You execute and then you check. Did I reach the red building? Did I see the red building? Am I seeing the red building? No. Like again, you take a step. Am I seeing a building? No. Again, take a step. Look. 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 Right? Slower than for loop. But advantage is that you can execute it without even knowing how many times you need to execute. Right? So I'm saying continue till the user says yes. Now continue till the user says yes. So it depends upon the user's wish. Users might run it one time or 100 times, right? It is user's wish, right? So that's why we will use while loop there. Couple of things that which we can improve here is the condition has to be true. Okay, if condition has to be true somehow, okay, no, we will, okay, fine. Okay, so let's take different example and see. Okay, not this. This is good. Okay, so you understood here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Great. Now we can create what is called as infinite loop, where okay now so before I talk about infinite loop, let's talk about what is the advantage of using for loop.
Advantage for loop is when we know we need
Yeah, so advantage is that when you know the number of steps, okay, when you know number of steps, then it's better to use this so that you can execute it faster.
yes, sir.
Right? You can execute it faster, right? You don't have to worry about, like when you're driving, you don't have to worry about, what comes on the way, because it says 1 kilometer, so you will ride for 1 kilometer, and only then you will see the outcome, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So so that is advantage. And what's the advantage of while?
While when I don't know the ending.
Right. When you don't know, still you can execute it, isn't it? Still
Yes,
you can execute it. Okay. Awesome. So what is the advantage of okay. Okay. Advantage we discuss. Okay, let's talk about disadvantage. What is the disadvantage of for loop?
for loop is सर कभी अगर यूजर कोई इनपुट दे देता है उसके रिस्पेक्ट में लूप चल जाएगा पर लूप का एंडिंग तक ये स्टॉप नहीं होगा.
नहीं उल्टा बोलो. That because in while in for loop, did I ask while or for?
I say for.
No. So see, in for, you are never going to reach infinite loop, because you how many times? One time, 5 times, 500,000, 50,000 times, 10,000 times you can do, right? So you know
Yes.
how many times, because for loop will not execute when you don't know. So here in this case, you will not have problem. You will not have problem of infinite loop, because you're giving the ending condition, isn't it?
Yes,
1
sir.
kilometer. So when you go 1 kilometer, you will see the university or not see the university. If you see it, perfect, you have reached there. If you don't see it, you stop there, right? It doesn't go infinite loop. Problem here is that even if one step, let's say if university is 0.9 kilometer, if university is 0.9 kilometer and you're going for 1 kilometer, you have already crossed. You will not know that you have crossed the university. because you're focused on doing it 1 kilometer. You focus on doing 10 times, even if it requires to do only 9 times. Okay, but you do it 10 times, so output will be wrong. So you have crossed the solution part. Okay, or for same matter, if it is at, let's say, 11th step, even then you won't meet. So you need to know exact number of steps. If you don't know exact number of steps, even if you do one or one more or less, is also a problem. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. So the problem here is that you have to be very sure, 100% sure of how things has to work. Otherwise, you will end up getting problems.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's one part. Now, what is the problem of while loop?
While loop is slow and
Correct, comparatively slower than for loop because it has to check the condition every time. Okay, and the problem that you mentioned, if you do not perform good check, if you do not perform good check, it will go on forever. The condition has to be perfect. Otherwise, you run the risk of getting into infinite loop. Okay, so for example, I'll say while true. So the condition has to be validated to true or false, right? Condition has to be validated true or false. So if I said while true, it's also fine, it's also valid. And then I'll say here print hello. So what happens when you run it? Okay, here I'll say enter, stop there. You see, you got into infinitely.
yes, yes, yes. Yes, sir, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay. Okay. So these are the problems, right? With these loops. So you have to be very sure of how many steps you need to do for loop and what should be the condition to check. Also, you have to be very sure. Okay. Now, what I'll do, I'll take an example of reading marks of 5 subjects. Okay, and perform some of the marks. Okay, so I'll read the marks of 5 subjects and perform some. Okay, I'll do using both for loop and while loop. And with that, we'll end today's session. Okay. Next time we'll meet and we'll do next session. We'll focus only on for. We'll take different examples on for. We'll do it. Following section, we'll only focus on while, and we'll take some examples on while, and we'll do it. Okay.
Okay.
So then, by the end of this week, we should be able to finish off for loop, and then we'll get into strings next week.
Okay.
Okay. So coming back to our program, I told you reading marks of 5 subjects. Okay. You can have break here. This is what I'll tell you tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Yeah, maybe tomorrow or next session. Okay. This is going to break the loop. Okay. So when I run it now, the loop, the hello will print it only once. So if I okay, so hello, and then I'm saying break. Break is to break the infinite loop. Okay. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Okay. So write a program to find sum of marks obtained in obtained in 5 subjects. Okay.
Okay.
Now, normal circumstances, when you don't know how to use loops, what would you do? You will say A equal to input. Okay. Enter marks 1. Right?
Yes.
You will say B equal to input enter marks 2, right? Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, right? So
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And you will say sum equal to A plus B plus C plus D plus E, okay? And you will say print total marks obtained is sum here inside, right? So when I run
Yes.
it, so if I say here, here, I'll say 1, comma 2, comma 1, comma 2, comma 1. So you get, what do you get? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
String value.
So what do, yeah, it's a string value, right? Because we have not
Yes, sir.
converted into integer. So it has concatenated. So when you add to string, it gets concatenated. So we have to convert this into int, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it's going to give us the correct output. Okay. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, sorry, 21. So it is 3 plus 4 plus 25, 25 plus 1, 26. Okay. We got 26,
Okay.
right? We add them, we get 26. Okay. Now we know the loops. When we know the loops, we know that we should not be repeating same line more than once. Why are we repeating? Okay. We could use one line and put it in a loop. What I'll do, I'll say evoke code using for loop. Okay, so I'll say for I in range 5 marks, right? I'll say 5.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now I will say A equal to int of input. Enter marks in. Okay, enter marks, right? And here
Yes.
I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So enter
Yes.
marks, okay? And I will have value what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I use I here, see I can't give comma here because input accepts only one parameter. Print will accept 2 parameters, but input
Yes,
will
yes.
not accept 2 parameters. So I cannot give it like this. Okay, so what I can do is, okay, I'll put this, since I is integer, I have to convert into string because I can add integer and integer. I can add string and string, but I can't add integer and string. For example, if I just give I here, okay, now you run it, okay, so I'll hit enter, okay, I'll say 1. Can only concatenate because this is strings, it is trying to concatenate. You can only concatenate 2 string, not string and integer. Okay, so I need to convert this into, I can't convert this into integer, right? Enter marks come to convert it into integer. So I have to convert I into string. So I'll say str of I.
I plus 1.
Exactly, that was the next thing, yes. Because I is 0, right? So it would have been
Yes, sir.
enter marks 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of 0, you have to say 1. So you said I plus 1. Okay, fine. So so when the execution comes to line number 53, okay, so it will say I equal to 0 comes here, A equal to int input of enter marks 1. Okay, you enter some marks 50, A is 50. Now after A is 50, when you go back to for loop, okay, and then again you come back, again you read the second value, the first value A is lost, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So first value will be lost. Right? So we need
Yes,
to
sir.
handle it before. We need to handle it before the value is changed to second value. Right or not? So
Yes.
what we'll do is, I'm going to create a value sum equal to 0 before for loop, and here I'm going to say sum plus equal to a. Sum plus equal to a means sum equal to sum plus a. The
Yes, yes.
first time it will be sum equal to 0 plus a. Okay,
Yes.
now sum will have 0 plus a, which is a. Second time sum will be the old a value, so it becomes a plus second a. Third time it will be a plus second a plus now third a.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes,
this
sir.
is how you will perform this, and I can, okay, so total marks obtained. I will copy this and I will put it here. Okay, so now when
Okay.
you run it, I'll say enter. Marks 1, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total marks 15. Here again I'll say, see, second loop is running, for loop is running. Okay,
Yes.
marks 1, I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So see 15. We got correct answer.
Yes, sir.
So this is how you can use for loop. Right?
I understand, sir.
Okay. Now what I'll do is, we'll do one more code before we end for the day. Sum using while loop, right?
Why?
While loop. Okay. Okay, while loop. Now let's see this. Now here I need a counter which would count 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it? So I'll say counter equal to 1. Now while, okay, while, okay, same thing, I'll use this one. And so, what I'll do, right? So while count equal to true. Okay, so counter equal to 1. Instead of print, I will say a equal to, this is the main logic, right? So I'm going
Yes.
to add it here. Okay, and we don't have I here, we have counter here. So I'll say
Yes.
str of counter. Counter is anyway starting from 1, right? And after we do the sum, we have to increase the counter value, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to continue? Okay, same logic. So when I run it, so this one I'll stop here. Okay, now marks 1, I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. For loop is running, I'll
The
say
loop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, oh, what happened? Oh, I think I put extra enter, I guess, right? No, 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 no. Counter has been set here, right? So we have to set counter equal to true again, isn't it? Count equal to true. We forgot this. Okay, so I stop here. Marks 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now what happened? Sum using while loop. Counter is 1, count equal to true. So count equal to true. So it is true, right? So it has gone inside this. Enter marks in subject 1. I'll say 1. Okay, you want to continue? I'll say yes, continue. Marks 2, 2. Continue. I'll say yes, continue. 3, continue. Yes, continue. Marks 4, continue. Yes, continue. Marks 5 is 5. You want to continue? No, I want to stop now. Okay, I did not print sum. See, I forgot something else. But now you can print the sum here. You will get the sum value. Okay, so indentation, just like we use indentation in for loop, sorry, if else. Okay, here too you have You have
use indentation.
Indentation, yes. Whatever you have to put inside loop should have an indentation. Any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay, this is introduction to loops. Tomorrow, next class when we meet, we will spend more time.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll share the code, these codes with you. You have access to book on the app, and soon, maybe by night, I'll share the video link also, and you should be able to practice these.
Okay, sir.
Sounds good? Any question before we wrap up?
No, sir.
Awesome. Okay then. Take care, guys. Okay, and
Thank you.
please do practice, and we'll see you next session.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye.